Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Sir, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. I am also fine.
Well, good. We'll be
Sir,
joined with.
where are you?
Do what?
Sir, where are you from?
United States, Texas. And you'll be watching some people from Taiwan today, Argentina, Lebanon. We'll have quite a few people. We'll start in about 5 minutes. Hey, Mimi.
Hi, Michael.
How you doing? I'm sorry I couldn't make it much yesterday. I just went on just long enough to look a little bit. Tony did a good job though, huh?
Yeah, he did a very good job. It was very interactive all the way through.
Oh, good.
It kept everyone busy.
Yeah, I just it has had a lot of stuff I had to get done yesterday.
Yeah, he's getting everyone into polling and breakout rooms.
Oh, good. Okay, just a second. I messed up here. I get Alan in. Okay. Yeah, we're being joined by people in I don't know where, all over. Lebanon's supposed to present. Adrian's going to talk from. You didn't get a chance to meet him, but he's from South Africa. And then we have looks like we have some of the people from Croatia.
Yes.
And we're supposed to be joined by a school in Lebanon as well.
Yeah, and you also mentioned Argentina, right?
Yes, she had emailed me and or on Facebook and said she was going to be here, so I rewrote the thing and I don't know, I hadn't seen her, but we will continue. Okay, let me get recording here and then we'll go live on Facebook too. You been doing okay?
Yeah, it's mostly like a lot of work.
I know.
Digitalizing everything. You know,
Yeah.
you just realize, oh, but this is not digitalized, so you're going to scramble around to get all the material online so that when you want to present to them, it doesn't like, oh, I have the paper, but you don't. So there's a lot of work and a lot of, pressure on, I think, both from the teachers and the students.
Yeah, it takes. I think it's harder on the teacher, actually.
I do agree.
Because you're just not used to it. Once you got used to it, it would be pretty decent. The problem being is that I don't think you ever really want to get used to it. I don't mean you personally, but I mean this is not a good setup to teach. I don't think.
Yeah, it's the lose of human touch, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the human touch. It's probably most important. If you really want to reach out and touch people, you have to actually touch people. You can't just talk about it. Why don't you do the introductions here a second, and we'll go ahead. This will be our last video conference for this school year. And normally we always use something to do for summer cookouts. Now, I thought that was kind of interesting because a lot of our people in the Southern Hemisphere, they're wondering why in the world we're having summer cookouts in the middle of winter, but they're going to have barbecues no matter what anyways as well. So this is kind of neat. We have a bunch of people joining us. This is Mimi from Taiwan. She and her husband, Brian, are geniuses when it comes to distance learning, and they have a very, very dynamic teacher. I guess we've been doing this for over a decade almost. So this will be kind of fun with her group. And then we're going to have a group from Croatia, and should have a group from Argentina, and we should have a group from Lebanon joining us. So we will try to start. Mimi, go ahead. Tell us a little bit.
For confirmation before we move on, the presenters will be from Taiwan. We have 3 teams here. And also, you said Lebanon, right?
Yeah, Lebanon said she just emailed me or did a while ago and said that they'd be coming right on. So.
Okay, so Lebanon is not on yet. So anybody here besides?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
I'd like to. I'd like to provide some information from Bangladesh. Some of my students joined the session from class 6 to 10, and I forgot to mention that they also made some presentation on the topic, and they are highly inspired to show it. Will they be allowed to present the session in the session?
Oh, yeah, they can do a presentation too. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay.
Right. So why don't we go from team 1 from Taiwan, then go to you to Bangladesh, since Lebanon is not here yet. And then after you, we will have Lebanon if they have joined us.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm busy letting people in, but go ahead. Team 1 from Taiwan, let's go.
Okay, so team 1 from Taiwan, we will begin our presentation about barbecue in Taiwan. Go ahead.
Hello everyone, we're students from affiliated High School of Zhongxin University. I'm Bella.
I'm E.
I'm Alan.
I'm Amelia.
I'm Sammy.
Today we are going to introduce barbecue in Taiwan. Barbecue wasn't popular in Mid-Autumn Festival until 1982 in Hsinchu. We could see a lot of people having barbecue not only in Phoenix area, but also everywhere. Why was barbecue so popular in Hsinchu at that time? The oven export restrictions caused manufacturers turn to domestic sale, which is a major contributing factor in barbecue prevalence. In addition, the Hsinchu area is the best camp for manufacturing ovens. Also, the barbecue equipment is less. It makes Hsinchu the first region with barbecue on Mid-Autumn Festival. Soon after, barbecuing became popular in Taiwan in 1989. Next, Ying will talk about barbecue food.
Thank you, Bella, for introducing how barbecue became popular. Next, we are going to talk about the barbecue sets. When we barbecue, we also grill many kinds of food, such as seafood, meat, and vegetables. Now, let's talk about the instructions. Next slide, please. First, prepare the foods which you want to barbecue, such as various kinds of seafood, which include shrimp, clams, sories, willowfish, squid, and etc. Next slide, please. You can also grill different kinds of meat, inclusive of beef, pork, chicken, sausage, and lamb. Next slide, please. Prepare mushrooms, onions, corns, loofahs, green peppers, and other vegetables that you like. Next slide, please. Second, set barbecue net ready. Pile out charcoal and burn it. Wait until the barbecue net gets hot. And put the foods on the net. Next slide, please. Third, spread barbecue sauce on the food and grill until they are well cooked. Finally, put the grilled food on a plate and enjoy the barbecue food with your friends and family together happily. Next, Ellen is going to talk about barbecue on rice.
Aside from the traditional barbecue that Ian have introduced, I'm going to talk about barbecue on rice. In keeping with the barbecue trend, different kinds of barbecue dishes are popping up in Taiwan. Barbecue on rice is one of them. It might sound simple, but it is actually quite different from ordinary barbecue. To make meats go well with rice, people use yakiniku, which is roasted meat with special sauce rather than common barbecue sauce. Since this sauce adds flavor to rice, it won't be too dry and tasteless. You can taste the burnt aroma in the meat. With the addition of mouth-watering sauce, you can get enough of it. Next, please. Next slide, please. To make this special type of sauce, people make yakiniku sauce with mirin, steak, and onion. Just marinate meat with this sauce and put it into fridge for 3 hours. Once you're done, you can start to grill the meat. Finally, place the meat on a bowl of rice and sprinkle it with some white sesame. Then it is done. It is a little more complicated than regular barbecue, but the result will not let you down. Next, Amelia is going to talk about Taiwan barbecues.
Thank you, Alan. Next, Taiwan Style Bbq. Next, please. Every year during the Mid-Autumn Festival, people invite friends and relatives to their house for barbecue. In addition to meat, barbecue food include pork, shrimp, clam, fish, green pepper, corn, and other local food. During the Mid-Autumn Festival, people also drink beverage like tea or juice to go with mooncake and pomelo. Pomelo from Taiwan is very delicious and juicy. People enjoy barbecue party for about 3 hours and spend a great time together. In the past, this activity may go on for about 2 months, but nowadays, it's only 1 month or even less. This is our Taiwan style barbecue. Next, Sammy is going to talk about climate action.
Thank you, Amelia. Now I'm going to talk about climate action. As environmental problem gets worse, the following thing needs to be considered before having a barbecue to reduce pollution. The first one is not to buy too much food that we cannot consume. In this way, we can reduce food waste. If we force ourselves to eat all of the food just because we don't want to waste it, it makes us stomach ache and make us feel uncomfortable. Second, To achieve the goal of carbon reduction, we need to reduce the amount of disposable products we used, such as paper cups and plastic spoons. Last, we should use stove-free, smoke-free charcoal and gas stoves or other equipment with less smoke damage, so that we can not only reduce air pollution but also improve public safety. Thanks for your attention. Do you have any question?
Yeah, I have several questions. Could you go back to the, Brian, could you go back to the one that shows the fish? Yeah, what are stories and what are willowfish? Are stories like, are stories, the one in the middle, are they like, oh gosh, can't think of it all of a sudden. Adrian, help me out there. They look like sardines almost. Are they like a sardine or no?
That species we also don't get here in South Africa, but it looks very much correct, like the sardine, which is, except the face part is a bit shorter, but yes, the body shape is like the sardine.
Okay, and what is a willowfish? Brian or Mimi, can you help us out? I was just interested because they look kind of delicious. I didn't know how you would serve them or grill them or how big they were or anything.
Presenters, Alan, Sammy. Would you like to answer the question? So what?
Willowfish Chinese is 柳叶鱼. We also fry it with oil.
Okay.
And what about stories?
Stories is in Chinese is 秋刀鱼.
And it is also a kind of fish.
Yes.
And Japanese like to eat this kind of fish, and we always have this fish in when I serve in military every day.
Do they ever come in? How big are they?
Around 30 centimeters.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't know. And then you may talk about barbecues because that's one thing we're talking about internationally. How big are your barbecues? And normally, because when I think of barbecues, I think of like huge, big barbecue pits like we have here in Texas. So if you could show that picture of barbecue and have the percentage.
So could you scroll the slides to the barbecue grilling, the net slide? Who's sharing the slide? Yeah. So on the right, you see that's the the American style or UK style, yeah. And usually in Taiwan, it's like smaller and it's closer to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The net is set closer to the ground, and people will be probably stooping down to do the grilling.
Okay, and what do they use? Like here in the United States, we'll use charcoal or hickory or mesquite. What do they use for grilling in Taiwan?
We also use charcoal, the coal.
Yeah.
Black thing, yeah.
But do you guys ever use wood, or like we use hickory wood or mesquite wood to give a different smoke taste and stuff?
We don't use wood. I don't think we have enough
wood chips. Yeah, if you go to a grocery store here in Texas, you see rows of all kinds of different chips and charcoals, and even our grocery store will sell barbecues, and some of them get very, very expensive, like thousands and thousands of dollars. And some of them, you know, to get a nice barbecue with a 3-leg type of a barbecue, similar to this one that you show, the third one here, would probably be about $50. So, you know, it's they take it very serious. And yesterday was Memorial Day, a holiday in the United States. And a lot of people will barbecue, especially here in Texas.
Yeah, Texas is like really into barbecuing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know people that will wait in line. There's a famous barbecue place in Austin called Franklin's, and they pay people to wait in line for them to get the barbecue. So you would actually pay somebody, and it may take 3-4 hours of their day just to wait in line to get the barbecue from them. So, and then when President Obama came here one time, he went to Franklin's, got straight to the front of the line. He didn't have to wait, but it becomes a pastime in which you come to town, you eat some of these favorites barbecue. And every state in the South will have a different barbecue. We barbecue a lot of beef here, but if you go to South Texas, they'll barbecue a lot of goats. It'd be similar to like your lamb. Adrian, what do they barbecue in South Africa?
We have a very strong tradition of braai. And I'm going to do 2 things today. I'm going to tell you what we do and what you should not do if we have time. So if I go over my time, just stop me. We call it a braai. If you can see this word, this is Afrikaans word for barbecue, but we use the word braai, and we braai for everything. If you feel happy, you braai. If you feel sad, you braai. Everything that happens, we just braai. And normally we use T-bone steaks, it's beef, or we also love lamb chops, sausage, or what we call wors. But we have a variety of big variety of braais. Some people braai on charcoal, some braai on gas, some braai on other stuff. But normally to braai using wood, dry wood, that's the favorite here. So we put together a meal of consisting of potatoes, bread, sandwiches with tomato and onions. But like I said, also fish. At the coast, there's this famous fish called the yellowtail. It makes a beautiful braai, but braai, we braai. And I want to tell you guys a funny story, if I may, Mike. You should not braai. I think we will all find it very humorous. I was a police officer in a previous life, and I worked in Johannesburg. And there we had to deal with all kinds of people. And many of those people, they didn't worry about the laws, the bylaws and the municipal laws. So there's one guy living in a flat about 10 stories high in a high-rise building in the area where there are lots of compact accommodation flats, units. And he used to braai up there, and they used to make a lot of smoke. Everybody complained, and nobody could do anything about it. The police said, no, well, and the guy said, it's a free country. So one day when I was on duty, I got my guys, and up there the guy was having a nice braai, and it just smoke all over the place. And I said, okay, let's give him a braai from our side. And I called the fire brigade. I had a good friend there. And the fire brigade guys came, and they put up that big truck with that big lift up there. And the next thing this guy and his friends knew, there was the fire brigade spraying all over them, extinguishing the fire. And I must add, that was the last of it. But getting back to our favorite food, braai is really in our history, in our heritage. It's become a pastime for us.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much. Let's go to Bangladesh, and then we'll do the second one from Taiwan. And is Croatia on too? Then we can go to Croatia. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, hi to all. We are here just to listen, but just would like to tell that in Croatia we really like to go outside to have barbecue. It's not so big like in US or maybe remember in Canada on Joe's place, but something in some middle size. And yes, in matter of fact, I was before 2 days on our Adriatic Sea, and I took some barbecue, and we had there lots of meals, mushrooms, vegetables, and so on. So, and it's about, of course, being together. Families are together, enjoying on good weather, and so on.
Oh yeah, I think that's the key. You have to have really, really good weather. You know, we've had a lot of rain here lately, but I mean, it could be 90 degree plus Fahrenheit all throughout the whole year. So, I mean, people barbecue outside even in January here.
Exactly.
Thank you, Susanna. All right, let's go ahead and get Bangladesh. Bangladesh.
Okay, thank you, sir,
Unmute
for
yourself.
inviting us, for giving us a chance. I'd like to invite you, Rim Jim, okay? And we have worked on some food items and cultures of the foods and different festival-related foods.
Presenters from Bangladesh, are you presenting? Are you muted?
Yeah, he's muted. I think he was trying to do something, and we'll see what happened.
Rimjim, are you available? Rimjim, I'd like to draw your attention. Please share the screen. Rimjim.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we cannot see you.
That is correct.
Hello.
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 Okay, so hello everyone. I actually prepared a presentation that I would like to show you guys. So can I share my screen right now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, hello everyone. So today I'm going to talk about seasonal foods in Bangladesh. So my name is Sadia Afrin Rimchim, and before starting, I wanted to say that Bangladesh has 6 seasons, and after every 2 months, there is a new season. So our Bangla calendar has 12 months, and in our 12 months, the first season that comes is summer. So summer is called Grishokal in Bangla, and it consists Boishak and Joshto, these 2 months. So in summer, the main thing is the fruits, because in summer there is a wide range of fruits that grow, and especially there is mango, lychee, jackfruit, latkan, there is muskmelon, there is kalojam, there is papaya and banana. Over here, you can see that this is lychee, then this is latkan, this is jamrul, this is called kalojam, and this is called kathal, which is the English is jackfruit. So the next is rainy season, and rainy is called Borshakal in our country, and this consists Ashar and Sravan, these 2 months. So over here I have written the Bangla word, how we pronounce it and how we write it. So the first picture you can see over here is khichuri. So khichuri is a very delicious food in rainy season. Right now in Bangladesh, it's Rainy season is coming and we all are very hyped for khichdi because it's a delicious dish. And after khichdi, this is hilsha fish fry. So to supplement khichdi, so this is a rice-based food. To supplement khichdi, hilsha fish fry is a good part of it. Like if you can have khichdi with hilsha fish fry, and over here is mango pickle. So pickle is something you add a variety of spices, and after adding a variety of spices and oil, it lasts for a nice amount of time, like very long time, and you can have it with rice and other sorts of things like panta bhat. So over here, this is panta bhat. You might be questioning what is panta bhat. Panta bhat is actually soaked rice. So the rice is soaked overnight, and after soaking overnight in the morning, the rice gets really cold. So in the summer days and rainy days, when the scorching heat and outside is very hot, so panta bhat, having panta bhat is really great because it's still cold and you can have a variety of bhatta. So what is bhatta? Bhatta is mainly something we add with our rice to give different flavors. So it can be from potato, it can be from mustard, it can be from any sort of spice or vegetable. So over here you can see there is a variety of bhatta, and this is the sugarcane juice. And rainy season is also a nice time to grow water lily flowers. And in Bangladesh, a lot of people like to have water lily as a food. So they might fry the water lily with egg and then have it as a chips or sort of a snack, or they might make it as a curry. Okay, so the next season is autumn. So this is the third season. And on this time, the the foods we can see are over here are wood apple. This one is wood apple. And there is also pomegranate. And there is a bunch of festive sweets. So these all are festive sweets, including anything with sugar and anything with a little bit add food coloring and gur. You might also ask what is gur. Gur is actually made from date sap, so date palm trees. So from date palm trees, you get a kind of really sweet juice, and you use that juice to make these sort of sweets. So these are the sweets that I've shown. And in autumn season, in Bangladesh, the skies are really clear, and there is these sort of white flowers, and everything is very clear. So on these times, Bangladeshi people like to have a little bit lightweighted food. And then next one is late autumn. Late autumn is called Hemontokal in our country, and it consists Kartik and Ograyon, these 2 months. Late autumn is mainly for cutting the paddy fields and cutting and growing the rice fields. And on rice fields, you make kheer and payesh. Kheer is a kind of sweet dish. You add rice, then sugar, milk, ghee, and lots of nuts and lots of sweet spices, and you make it. And payesh is just similar, but a little bit less thick. And over here, you can see a man, and he is climbing in a date palm tree. So from this date palm tree, we can get date juice. And this date juice is used to make this kheer and payesh a little bit sweeter, and also make it a little bit more tasty and delicious. You can make candies with it, which is called food that I already mentioned. And after that, it's winter. So in winter is mainly about growing a bunch of vegetables. You can have a very nice amount of vegetables in winter, like carrot and eggplant and cauliflower, cabbage, etc. And in winter, you can see I have a picture over here to showcase the mustard fields. So in winter, you would love to have mustard bhatta with Cheeto Pita. So Cheeto Pita, what Cheeto Pita is, it is a kind of pita, and winter is the best time to make pitas, and Bangladeshi people love to make pita. Pita is a kind of cake. It's a short cake, really small cake, and it is made with rice and flour and different sorts of sugars and nuts and lentils.
So you add anything with it. So over here, this is called Cheeto Pita. This one is Puli Pita, and this one is gur that we got from date palm juice. This one is called Papa Pita, and this one is another version of Cheeto Pita, but this one is sweet. So the first one was spicy. We add the bhortas, like the spices, and this one is sweet. That one is Patishapta Pita, and this one is called Nokshi Pita. The meaning Nokshi means designs. So you can see that this pita consists a variety of designs, and that is why it's called Nokshi Pita. Okay, after that we have got spring. So in spring, it's blossom everywhere, a bunch of flowers, and a very nice time to have to go outside. So in spring, you can see that after spring comes summer. So on that time, the mango and the jackfruit, all of those fruits are still raw. So what do we do with it? We make raw jackfruit curry. So this one is raw jackfruit curry. It's made out of jackfruit, and this one is made out of jackfruit seeds. So jackfruit seeds are cooked as curry, and this one is spicy. And you can also have watermelon and muskmelon, and this one is called Sapodilla. In Bangladesh, Sapodilla is called sofeda. And over here, you can see a man who is preparing honey. Okay, so in spring, as there are so many flowers, so on that time, the honey is really tasty and delicious and fresh. So in spring, people like to have honey with their daily meals and dishes too. So after that, after the seasonal foods, I also wanted to add the street foods. So over here, this is one of my favorite street food, which is puchka. So this one is a very thin like chips, and inside the chips, you add lentil, a very thick mixture of lentil with added other spices, and you use turmeric to make it a little bit sour. This one is luchi. Luchi is a very thin like roti. Roti is kind of a very thin bread, and you have it with meat curry or any sort of spicy curry. And this one is boot. Boot is also a kind of lentil that is made out of, like over here, you can see potatoes and boot, which is a lentil. And this is kind of like a street food. And this one is also, oops, sorry. Okay, so this one is also a kind of puchka, but this one is called bhel puri, and it's a little bit bigger than this one. And this one is chalmuri. Chalmuri is you add puffed rice and different sorts of vegetables like tomato and chili and onion, and then you add a little bit of spices, and then you get chalmuri. And this one is actually the street foods we have in any places. If you go to any place in Dhaka or Narayanganj or the city areas or the village areas, you will find these sort of foods. This one is shomucha, this one is shingara, and this is beguni, and this is piaju. So all these sorts of foods and snacks are very available in streets, but during COVID, right now, these sort of foods have lost their magic actually, because people don't eat street foods that much right now, and people don't go outside. But if you ever visit Bangladesh, these are the foods you should try, I think. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to mention is the sweet. So Bangladesh has a variety of sweets, and all of these sweets are really delicious and tasty. So this one over here, I have shown a variety of sweets we have. This one is called chom chom. This one is rashmalai. This one is balish mishti. It's actually called, it's very sweet and very big. This one is kalojam. This one is jalebi, and this one is rasgulla. So you might ask, what are these things? These things are actually made of flour and sugar and different sweet spices, and cooked in different heat to give this sort of color. This one is in sugar water, and this one is in milk. This one is floating in milk, and this sort of sweets, it's very perfect for after dinner or after lunch desserts. So thank you very much for watching my presentation. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you can ask me right now. Thank you.
Taiwan students, do you have questions? That was very good.
Thank you.
What is a jackfruit?
Jackfruit.
Mhm.
Jackfruit is a kind of a fruit. It's a very big fruit. And how do I describe it? It's actually a kind of fruit. It's sweet. And if you peel off the cover of it, you'll find there is very little like grapes, and they are very sweet. And this is a very common fruit in our country.
Okay. Mimi, you students have some questions?
Yeah. Do you have any questions? And now's the time to unmute and ask. Otherwise, we're going to move on to more presenters. We have a number of presenters today. So if you have a question, Howard, do you have a question?
Yes. So in your report, you mentioned that in your country, you have have a variety flavor of the food called pizza. I don't know I'm saying right, P-I-T-H-A. So I want to ask that, how does they taste like? Yes, pizza. So you mentioned that they have a wide variety.
Yes, please continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what does pizza taste like is what he's asking.
Oh, pita tastes like it's actually sweet dish, and it has different flavors. So the flavors are actually different because of you can add different sorts of sugar. Like there are two sorts of sugar, one that comes from sugar cane, another one comes from date. So you use that. You also use coconut and anything that is sweet, any fruit or any sort of spice that you think is sweet, you add to the pita and it gives you a new flavor. So is there any specific pita you want to know that what is the flavor of it and how does it taste?
I want to know about the orange pizza because I like orange very much. I'm interested in about it.
Orange pita. You mean like I have to show the picture? Okay, I'm going to show you the presentation again and you just tell me which one, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So
okay,
which one?
Over here. Which one?
Oh, the first one, orange.
On the bottom?
On the bottom left.
Gur.
Oh, okay. With the designs.
Howard,
Hello.
what was your question again?
I'm curious of the shape of this pizza. I'm curious about the shape of the rice. Yes.
Okay, that one is called Nokshi pita, and it is mainly made out of rice flour, and it's a little bit hard when you chew it, and you add date juice in it, which I called gur. So you add gur on that, and it is really sweet, and it gives you the flavor of the fruit date.
Okay.
And we have another question from Chuck.
I'm wondering what is a wood apple? Is it like a wood or it tastes like it is like an apple or it tastes like
Okay,
what is called wood apple?
I think it is called wood apple because the peel of the apple is really hard. So you have to break it by hitting on a surface. So you break it, and inside it's actually inside you get a little bit of there is little seeds over here, and it's orange inside, and it's really sweet, but it is not actually designed in like orange or anything, or apple. It's not actually apple. And how you eat wood apple, it's something like you eat it by adding a little bit of sugar and spice, so like chili flakes, so it will taste a little bit good, but actually it's little sour.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Hey, Mary, let's go ahead and get one from Taiwan then, and then Lebanon is trying to join us, but they want you to run the PowerPoint from your end.
Okay, not a problem. So second team, would you like to share your slides now, and you may begin.
Okay, sure. Hello everyone, and now we're going to talk about customs and taboos in temples. I'm Hannah.
I'm Renee.
I'm Eric.
I'm Peggy.
I'm Lisa. The Christian churches and Islamic mosques are equivalent to our temples in Taiwan. All three of them are the center of faith to people. And the oldest one can be traced back to the 16th century. Next. Usually we go to temple to pray for safety and good health. We also ask for advice when we run into problems. Next. We light up incense stick and burn just paper. That symbolize the things that we pray for will be conveyed to God by raising smoke. And money will be carried to the other world respectively. Next. We will show you how this is done with the casting of moon block and drawing fortune stick to ask and answer questions. Then we will tell you more about custom and taboos in temple. Hannah, over to you.
Thank you, Renee. There are some things that people don't use as sacrificial offering during worshiping. For example, wax apple. This kind of fruit is hollow inside, and the word hollow has the same pronunciation as careless in Chinese. Both of the words pronounce 无心 in Chinese. Due to this reason, people don't use wax apple as a sacrificial offering. And there is also another saying that if a person uses wax apple as sacrificial offering, he or she will lose money. What's more, half-eaten food shouldn't be served as a sacrificial offering either, because people have believed that it is disrespectful. There are other taboos. Girls shouldn't go to temples during menstrual period, and people shouldn't point their finger at God's statues. Next, Eric is going to talk about taboos regarding doors.
Thank you, Hannah, for your introduction. When entering the temple to worship, you cannot step on the threshold. This is because people believe that every door has a door guard, and the threshold is a part of the door. Stepping on the threshold is rude, and that will offend the god. Therefore, when entering the temple, you must bend your knees and cross over the threshold to respect to the gods. But it is inconvenient for many elderly or pregnant women to cross over the threshold. In order to be considerate to the elderly, pregnant women and children, the threshold was removed. So there are some temples where you won't see the threshold. Next, please. Every temple has 3 doors. When you are inside the temple looking out, the door on the left side is entry door to the temple. After worshiping, you must leave through the door on the other side. The door in the middle cannot be used because it is used by the gods. So many temples will put up fences to remind people. Next, Peggy will introduce customs in temples.
Thank you, Eric, for your introduction. Next, I want to talk about what people pray for in the temple. First, there are many teenagers who go to Yue Lao Temple to pray for true love. Yue Lao will tie the fate of two people by playing Cupid. Second, if you don't feel well, you can go to Bao'an Temple to pray for good health and safety. And this temple can also help you keep bad luck at bay. Third, when the big exam is coming, many students will go to Wenchang Temple to pray for good luck in getting high scores on the test. Fourth, if you want to pray for a good career or making a fortune, you can go to Fuzheng Temple. People find comfort in these religions. Next, Lisa will tell us more about the custom in the temple.
Thank you, Peggy. The purpose of drawing a line is to ask the God to point it in the right way or answer to a question. Before doing that, one should tell the God his or her name, address, and the question one wants to ask. After that, one should cast the moon back to ask for agreement. If the moon bar is facing up and the other one is facing down, it means that God agree the question to your question. If not, it means that the God reject your answer. One cannot just draw a lot and take a look at what is written inside. One needs to ask for confirmation from God if this lot is the correct one. And there is a point written on it. As the contents of the question varies, the meaning of the poem is also different. To understand the meaning correctly, one can ask the consultant at the temple for help. Hope you stay and sound. Thanks for listening. Do you have any question?
Anyone have any questions? That was very well done.
Yes, I have.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, I'm from Bangladesh. I just wanted to know about how cast moon blocks to get the answer from God's work actually.
Sorry, can you say it again?
I mean, in the last slide, you showed us about the cast moon blocks. I mean, I just wanted to know the process, how that works.
Yeah, the moon blocks. How do they get information from that? Those little red things.
You ask the God question, and then you toss the moon block, and the God will give you answer. And I think God will tell you to. Sometimes people ask if he or she can draw a lot or not. And if God agrees that you should draw a lot, and you go to draw a lot.
Okay, so the moon block is works like this. It's a pair of wooden blocks that is in the crescent shape, sort of like, a crescent moon. And yeah, like that. And when you cast the blocks, they will land on the floor. Of course, you have to ask yes, no questions.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's shown like this, like one side up, one side down, the answer is yes. Okay, so whatever it is to your question, the answer is yes. And if both sides are facing down, like both of the blocks are like the right side hand, the one on the right side, then it means no. And if both of the blocks look like the one on the left, then it means that God doesn't have an answer for you yet.
No, it's been pending. It's been pending, and the God is laughing. The ha.
But it means that they don't have a definite answer for you yet. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So you can ask yes, no questions, and then again, like Hannah said, if you want further information, ask if you can draw a lot, and of course this is yes or no here. And if yes, you can go ahead and draw a lot with the note. The lot has a number, and then there's a corresponding note to the number, and there's a poem that will try to explain your situation for you.
Maybe I can show the moon luck for you. Can I share the screen?
Yeah, you can share screen.
Hannah, you should cancel your sharing.
I wait.
You can stop your sharing.
Yes. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
And this one on the right hand side, red closet, the red drawer is the moon lock. And if you get the number, and you have seen that there are several words on the drawers, and it actually is the number of in Chinese, and you can go to this one. If you can get the God's promise, you can go to this and get one of them, and on this you will have the number to this, and you can get a paper in a drawer, and that's it. Yes, that's what.
So Howard, you're saying that the number on that sheet of paper corresponds with the number on the red drawers, right?
Yes.
And then you open up
No,
the red
no, the
drawer,
opposite
that's
around.
how
The
you get your
opposite.
answer.
The opposite. Yeah, you draw the lot, and there's a number of it. You go to that drawer, open the drawer, and take out the slip of paper.
Okay. Wow. That's kind of fascinating.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. That was really
interesting
good.
element.
No telling what you can learn here on a daily basis. This is exciting. Okay, I think we're supposed to go to Lebanon. I think Harara and her kids are on. If you could run it from there. Thank you so much.
I'm going to
Team
do that.
Hello, Mike. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Harara, you ready?
Yeah, I'm just. I just want my students to start. Because now we are not together. They just arrived home.
Okay.
So
You want to wait? You want to wait until Taiwan does another one and then do it, or no?
Now we are back to school again. We are following. You see, it's the opposite of what happened in Taiwan.
Yeah, now this is funny. Taiwan, for all these months, we're saying, we always laugh at them because we were at home, and now you guys are back in school and they're at home. So this is kind of fun. Okay.
It is really funny. Even though the medical committee in Lebanon refused, and they told the Minister of Education that he shouldn't allow the students to go back to school because it's still unsafe. But he insisted, and we are public schools, so we have to follow. Guys, are you ready? Maruf, Hassan, Ali. Maruf, can you start, please?
Yes, miss.
Yalla, dear. Say hi first and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. We are from Kfar Hatta High School. Our project about falafel and beef shawarma and kibbeh. Our teammate is Hassan Salami, Maruf Atwi, Ali Aun, and Mir'i Nasruddin. Falafel are delicious balls of chickpea and herb goodness that you find in Middle Eastern cooking. Naturally vegan and vegetarian, falafel are great in wraps, pitas, sandwiches, and salads. Today I'll share how to make both fried falafel and baked falafel. You will choose your favorite. Traditional falafel is made from ground chickpeas or fava beans, herbs, and species. The mixture is then formed into balls or patties and deep fried for a texture that's crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Sort of like a friter. It's a classic Middle Eastern and Mediterranean recipe that's enjoyed as street food and often served up as part of meals, a group of small meals. How to make falafel? Step 1: soak dried chickpeas. This step is simple, and add dried chickpeas to a large bowl and cover by quite a few inches of water. Set the bowl aside and let the beans rehydrate until they triple in size. This takes a while, so I do this the night before I plan to make falafel. I've also done this 2 days in advance. Drained the beans and then kept them covered in the fridge. While we do not cook these beans until they are in the falafel mix, we do have a full tutorial for soaking and cooking dried chickpeas if you are interested. Step 2: process all falafel ingredients in a food processor. Roughly chop the onion and then add them to the food processor with the chickpeas, garlic, herbs, spices, salt, and pepper. Then pulse until the mixture is chopped small, but before it is smooth, see our photos for reference.
Thank you, Maruf. If anyone has any question about falafel sandwich, you can ask him.
Yeah, I noticed.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is the food falafel, is this taste like meat?
Does it taste as meat, معروف؟ طعمتها مثل اللحمة؟
No.
It's completely vegetarian.
Yes.
Oh, is this made from vegetables?
Yeah, vegetables. Yes, sure.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I mean, in Eid al-Fitr, how do you guys just celebrate Eid al-Fitr in Lebanon? I mean, in Bangladesh here, we just wander here and there and eat many dairy-based foods like shemai, paesh, etc. Now, do you guys do the same or something different and special?
Guys, he's trying to ask us about Eid al-Fitr. And if anyone would like to tell him how something about how we celebrate it, please raise your hand and I will choose who would like to talk about how we celebrate Eid al-Fitr, usually what we do. Is Farah and Jad here? Fatima? What do you do during Eid al-Fitr? If you want, I can answer you.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay. Usually, Eid al-Fitr starts very early in the morning or even a day before. In Lebanon, we have a tradition where we used to visit the graveyard and put roses on the tombs and the graves of our beloved and lost ones. Very early and during the morning of Eid al-Fitr, people go to visit the graveyard and spread the roses and bakhur everywhere. We used to burn certain herbs to have a beautiful smell. And after that, we go usually to the masjid. They pray and we have something called Zakat al-Fitra, and I think all Muslims have to distribute the money of Zakat al-Fitra to the orphans and to the poor or needy people. And then we come back our homes to celebrate with the family. Usually we have something called ma'moul as special dessert for Eid al-Fitr, or baklawa or any kind of sweets. But usually ma'moul is basic in all Lebanese, whether Muslims or Christian Eids. We have this kind of dessert or this kind of sweets. Mainly we don't make parties, but we visit the relatives and we give the children money to celebrate and to buy themselves whatever they like to have. This is mainly what we do during Eid al-Fitr. But unfortunately, these 2 years, because of COVID-19, people were not allowed to exchange visits or to join or to pray even in the masjid, the special prayers of Eid, because of the precautions of COVID-19, and people are not allowed to assemble or gather or even show any kind of celebration. I would like to suggest if we can make a kind of, we write what we do and we exchange how different Muslims celebrate this Eid, but in another presentation where we can have more time for that to prepare, and students would like to maybe to share this. This would be fun if we can make it, Dr. Mike. I highly
I can do that. I'll send out that link. So I'll send it to the people so they can do. One quick thing before you go to the next part. The chickpeas are also the basis for the hummus too, correct?
Sure, it is the hummus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So in other words, you're making this and dipping it into some more of the same stuff. This is kind of neat.
But the difference, Mike, is that when we make hummus, we have to boil them.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we soak them in both cases, in falafel and in hummus. But when it comes to hummus, we have to boil them after soaking for a whole day, 24 hours. We boil them and then we smash them and enjoy them.
Now, I'm kind of ignorant on this, but would that taste very similar to, like, in the United States, we serve something, there's a falafel, I can't pronounce it right, but there's one right by our church because there's a lot of Lebanese people that live over by where I go to church. But it's gotten very popular here in Austin. But how much difference would this taste than maybe hush puppies or something to that effect, or made out of corn? I mean, it's the same type of thing, a deep fried taste, isn't it?
I can't compare the taste, as I haven't been before to United States and tasted what you're talking about. But falafel, you can see it. It's similar even in Egypt. I ate something similar in Egypt. I ate something even very similar in Iraq, and they even call it falafel. So just the difference is that certain countries, for example, they put 2 cups of chickpeas and 1 cup of beans. Other countries, no, two beans and 1 chickpea. So and sometimes the herbs, the pepper differs, but mainly they all contain, as Maruf has mentioned.
Now, real quick before you go, Bangladesh, you have chickpeas there too, correct? People eat chickpeas or no? because chickpeas are very popular. Garbanzo beans are very popular here in the States. And hummus is very popular here in the States too. This is something, Mary, that you may want to do at one of your boot camp things, because this is actually really good food. I think the kids would really enjoy it. Why don't we go ahead because of time? Let's go to the next one, please.
Excellent suggestion about making the chickpeas and all the food. I mean,
yeah, you'll love it. I mean, this is really good stuff.
Go ahead with this sandwich.
Yes. Hey, I think I recognize those French fries.
This looks very delicious. Who's going to tell us about this?
All right. Who's
Fatima, who's going to talk about shawarma? Are you in, Fatima?
Miss me. Hassan.
Oh, Hassan. Okay, dear Hassan. Yalla, you can start. Hassan, introduce yourself, please.
Yes. Hi, my name is Hassan Saleme. I'm from Lebanon. I study in Farhatta High School. And now I will produce a shawarma sandwich. Shawarma is probably one of the most recognizable Middle Eastern ethnic food names in the West, behind falafel and hummus. The name comes from Turkish word shiverim, which means turning, and where you have some deeply marinated layers of beef, lamb, or chicken stacked on a vertical spit and slowly turning against a soft grilling fire for hours. The meat is then shredded and wrapped in a pita bread with garlic paste, chicken shawarma, or tahini sauce, beef shawarma, and other goodies such as grilled tomatoes, chopped parsley, French fries, grilled onions, and salted Lebanese pickles.
Yes, this looks very delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Hi everybody, I'm Fatima Tawil from Farhatta Public High School, Lebanon. I'm very happy to join. I will talk today about shawarma sandwich. Shawarma is also spelled as shawarma, or shawarma, depending on how folks hear their ethnic brethren say it. This delicacy may get confused sometime with the Greek gyro, but there is a major difference in the species used and how meat is processed. In this post, we're going to feature our refined and will test beef shawarma recipe. Okay, thank you.
And who would like to tell us how to make beef shawarma?
Yeah. Fatima?
Fatima, can you please tell them how they can make the beef shawarma? Fatima, can you hear us? Anyone else would like to replace Fatima to talk about how to make beef shawarma? Jad, please, can you explain it to our colleagues? let me explain the ingredients. We have beef strips.
Teacher,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, Fatima, you are back. Can you please read how to make beef shawarma?
Beef strips has the 1,200 gram vegetable oil, mixed vegetable onion slice, Maggi Arabian cooking sauce, fresh parsley chopped.
So there is a kind of special here in Lebanon. There is a special spices called the Arabian Maggi shawarma spice. So they add it to the meat and to the beef. The meat is chopped into strips and mixed with vegetable oil. Usually it's the olive oil or corn oil, and also with the slices of onions. We keep them mostly 2 hours at least, and then they are baked until there is no more sauce. And then after that, you can put it in the pita bread with tarator or with onion, with the parsley, with tahini. It depends how you like it.
Yeah.
And who would like to tell us about this delicious dish? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Kibbe.
Kibbe, yes. Who will talk about kibbe?
I'll read since Alion is busy.
The problem is that this time some students have not yet arrived to their homes. That's why you see that they are a little bit anxious, and they are trying to cover everything. Okay, no problem, Maruf. You can read it, and I can help you if you need help. No problem. Go ahead.
In Levantine cuisine, kibbeh is usually made by pounding bulgur wheat together with meat into a fine paste and formed into balls with toasted pine nuts and spices. It may also be layered and cooked on a tray, deep fried, grilled, or served raw.
Yeah.
In Lebanon, we like raw kibbeh so much.
Yeah. Kibbe nava.
Yeah, kibbeh naye. Yes.
Consideration of kibbeh. Kibbeh is considered to be a national dish of Lebanon and Syria, and is popular in Palestine, Jordan, and Cyprus. Versions are found in Egypt, Israel, Iraq, Iran, and Persian Gulf, Armenia, and Turkey. It is also found throughout Latin American countries that received substantial numbers of immigrants from the Levant during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, as well as parts of North America. Ingredients of kibbeh. Kibbeh is a family of dishes based on spiced ground meat, onions, and grain, popular in Middle Eastern cuisine. In Levantine cuisine, kibbeh is usually made by pounding bulgur wheat together with meat into a fine paste and formed into balls, with toasted pine nuts and spices. Spices,
good.
I have a couple questions. Pine nuts, they're very expensive here in the States. how expensive are they now in Lebanon?
They are very expensive now. Last year it was about 100,000 Lebanese liras, which was about $60 last year. A Lebanese employee can afford to buy if he has the minimum rate of income, he can buy 5 kilos. But now this year it is 1,350,000, which means that there are some employees now, because of what's happening, they cannot afford to buy 1 kilo of pints for their whole salary.
Yeah. Inflation is just absolutely horrendous in Lebanon. What's the lira to now?
Today I think it's about 12. Each $1 is for 12,500 maybe, or 600 Lebanon liras. Each $1. It was 1,500.
Yeah, the food has just gotten outrageous. It's very tough for a lot of people to live. And even though you're making some of this fantastic food, the pine nuts I know are just extremely expensive here in the States.
Sure, but nowadays the Lebanese mothers are making certain amendments. A lot of beef and pine and nuts are missed from our honestly, and from our plates or dishes these days.
So you think more vegetarian?
Yeah, we were discussing something today. The students told me that the one sandwich shawarma used to be 1,500 Lebanon liras. Now it is 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so just imagine what's happening.
Yeah, and that's those aren't that large either, are they?
Yeah, very.
I mean, you might could eat 2 of them. So I mean,
yes.
It could be very.
For example, to me, I eat at 1.5. But my husband, he has to eat at least 2 or 2.5. So for the guys, they eat 2 sandwiches of shawarma. Yeah, sure. If they want to get satisfied, one is not enough because it's not that large as you mentioned.
Yeah. So I mean, if you had a family, this could be. You couldn't hardly even afford to eat out.
Sure. Yeah, what's happening now is crazy. Nobody can imagine what's going on. No one.
And this is during relatively peace times too. So I hate to see what happens back in the days when they had rebellions and stuff. It's horrible. Sure. God bless all of y'all. It's just really sad. I hate to see anybody have to go through all that. I'm sorry about talking about that stuff.
Thanks for your sorrowful feelings. Thanks for your empathy. But I was telling my students that we need. It's a problem, and I'm sure that Lebanese people are going to cross over it. We used to struggle a lot. You know that what happened during all these years was so horrible, but this year was the most horrible one. Still, by education, and if they have good English and good technology skills, good communication skills, they are going to find online opportunities to stand up and get fresh dollars and work and even help and assist their families. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about $1 anymore, but yeah, I see what you're saying. You're gonna have to get something outside the Lebanese lira because that's not gonna be too. It's hard to make it. We sure do appreciate all that you do there and all your children and students do. That's very good. Mimi, you're gonna go back to Bangladesh for one more night?
Yeah, let's go back to Bangladesh and then back to Taiwan for the last one. So okay, Bangladesh, good. Over to you first.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lebanon.
Yes, thank you very much. I'd like to invite Nabonita Sarkar Medha. Please share your screen. Nabonita Sarkar Medha.
Okay, sir, thank you.
So can I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay. Welcome everyone. My name is Nabonita Sharkar Medha. I am in class 6 and I am from Bangladesh. Today, I am gonna talk about festival foods of Bangladesh. Pohila Boishakh. Pohila Boishakh is the first day of Bengali calendar, which is the official calendar of Bangladesh. This festival is celebrated on 14 April in Bangladesh. Pantalish. Pantalish is a traditional platter of leftover rice soaked in water with fried hilsa, supplemented with dried fish, pickles, lentils, green chilies, and onion. A popular dish for the Pohila Boishakh festival. Nabanno. Nabanno Utsav is one of the popular cultural and traditional festivals in Bangladesh. The Bengali terms Nabanno means new rice or new crops. This is a festival held on the occasion of the first cooking of rice prepared from new amang paddy. When new paddy is taken up at home, pitipuli is made with that new paddy rice. There are many types of pitas such as Cheeto Pita, Papa Pita, Pati Shapta, Malpua, Puli Pita, etc. And this is the Cheeto Pita, and this is the Pati Shapta Pita, and this is the Puli Pita. Okay, let's talk about Eid al-Fitr food. Eid al-Fitr is a festival celebrated by Muslims and it is called Festival of Breaking the Fast. After a month fasting, Eid al-Fitr is celebrated. Eid al-Fitr is also known as Sweet Eid because of the amount of variety of sweet dishes on this occasion. Shemai is the most common food on the day of Eid. Bangladesh has many traditional dishes to celebrate Eid, such as pinni, jorda, pulao, korma, etc. And this is the shemai, this is the pulao, and this is the pinni. Yes. Eid al-Adha. Eid al-Adha is the religious festival of Muslims and it is called Feast of Sacrifice. There are different foods eaten during Eid al-Adha like biryani, meat curry, etc. And this is the biryani and this is the meat curry. Then Durga Puja. Durga Puja is the biggest festival of Hindus celebrated for worshipping God. There are many traditional foods of Durga Puja such as khichuri, different kinds of sweets like laddu, sandesh, etc. This is the puja platter and you can see here khichuri, then sweet, then some vegetables and then lentils and luchi. This is luchi and this is laddu and this is chutney. This is sandesh and this is laddu. Christmas. Christmas or the Feast of the Nativity is an annual festival commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ, observed on December 25. The feast consists of dishes such as chicken or sometimes vegetables curries usually served with rice. There are delicious puddings to eat after Christmas dinner. These tasty treats include pita, which are sweet rice cakes, as well as pies, a creamy and rich rice pudding. This is the pies, and this is the pudding, Christmas pudding. Okay, Buddha Purnima. Buddha Purnima is a Buddhist festival that is celebrated commemorating the birth of the Prince Siddhartha Gautama. On this occasion, people prepare kheer as a symbolic dish of the festival and many more items. And this is the Kir and Fernie, Kir and Paish, something like same sweet dishes. Wait a minute. Okay. Yes. Now let's talk about tribal foods of Bangladesh. There are more than 45 small tribal groups in Bangladesh. Our society is so diverse due to the combinations of different peoples. Okay, now let's talk something about the tribal foods of Marma, Shantal, Manipuri, and Chakma. So let's look forward to Marma. The Marma people like to eat a variety of vegetables cooked with rice. They eat dried fish mash, which is known as nappi. The Shantal. Rice is the main food of Shantals. They also eat fish, meat, and vegetables, as well as a type of food called nalita, which is cooked with jute leaves. Manipuri. They eat rice, fish, and various vegetables. Meat is socially forbidden. One of their favorite dishes is called chinjeda, which is made with various vegetables. Then Chakma. Bamboo shoot is a traditional food of the Chakma people. The staple food of the Chakmas is rice, supplemented by corn, vegetables, and mustard. Thanks for watching my presentation and staying with me. If you are having any question, you can ask me.
Anybody have a question?
Please ask me.
That was very good. Thank you so much.
I
Appreciate.
have a question from Taiwan. Sam?
I want to know, how does the food pulao taste like? It looks delicious.
Well, pulao is mainly a rice-based food and is very delicious. And there you can find rice, then some masalas, then onion, and like this. You can add some vegetables also if you want to make a vegetarian pulao. And there is one more type of pulao is morok pulao or chicken pulao.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And we have another question from Alan.
So in Taiwan, we used to like keep the food from eating. Like we don't eat the food that's served for God to show our respect. I'm wondering, do you guys do the same? Like not eating the food before serving to God?
Can you tell again?
So in Taiwan, we don't eat the food that is on purpose to serve to gods. And what I was wondering is, do you guys do the same? Keeping the food from eating before serving to God?
Yes, we do, but we can eat the food after serving to the God. I mean, we called it prasad. I mean, after serving to God, we can have them, but not before that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That would be the same as in Taiwan. Yeah.
That's great.
Any other questions before we move on to the last presentation from Taiwan? Do you have any more from Bangladesh? Then we'll move right back to you.
I think you just had the two.
Okay, well, then the last team from Taiwan, you can start sharing your screen and then you may begin.
Excuse me, we have another small presentation. Can you be allowed to present it?
Yes, can you do it after this one? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I would like to invite Mannata, please present your screen. Mannata. Mehanaz Islam Mannata, please present your screen.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we'll have Sam and your group on outdoor banquet and local customs, and we'll go right back to Bangladesh. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. We're students from affiliated high school of National Junction University. My name is Brian.
My name is Jason.
My name is Sam.
My name is Jim.
My name is Howard.
My name is Yoi.
Today, we're going to introduce outdoor banquets and local custom in Taiwan. Next slide, please. Outdoor banquets is a unique food culture in Taiwan. Next slide, please. Outdoor banquets dates back to the Qing Dynasty. People usually have outdoor banquets at the temples, activity centers, or their yards. Next slide, please. People would invite the main chef to their home to cook classic, delicious dishes. The main chef would cook about 10 to 12 dishes. The main chef would cook about 10 to 12 dishes, including meat, vegetable, soup, desserts. Next slide, please. The main chef would set up the stove for cooking, set up the red table, and steel chair for people to sit down. The host would invite their friends and relatives to enjoy the banquets together.
Next, I'm going to introduce 4 kinds of outdoor banquets. The first and the most common one is for people's important events in life. It is usually held for many reasons. For example, to celebrate someone's birthday, to celebrate someone's wedding, to celebrate someone buying a new house, and other important events. Next slide, please. The second, it is usually held for a certain group of people, such as a family. And those people usually celebrate the reunions by getting together to enjoy great food and chat with each other. Next slide, please. The third one is for religious events. It is usually held to celebrate God's birthday or some religious festival like Zhongyuan Pudu. A festival held to please ghosts so they don't bother people's lives in this year. Next slide, please. The last, gratitude. It is usually held to express appreciation to someone who has helped you. Next slide, please. Next, then we'll introduce the male chef.
The main chef plays an important role in outdoor banquets in Taiwan. As the main chef, he should decide the process and the menu of outdoor banquets. In the past in Taiwan, the main chef just brought some kitchenwares to offer the service for the family who had outdoor banquet, and led the other chefs to cook huge amounts of delicious food. After a long time, the outdoor banquet become a professional job. People hire the staff and the chefs from a professional company. The staff and the chefs, the professional company need to rent out the scaffold, tables, chairs, and the other utensils. The staff also need to prepare the ingredients themselves now. Next, Jim will tell you the common dishes in outdoor banquets.
Thank you, Sam. Next, I'm going to introduce some outdoor banquet dish you will probably see in outdoor banquet. Next slide, please. First, I'm going to introduce cold cuts, which serve as appetizers for the first dish in outdoor banquet. The chef used a variety of ingredients represent a variety of cultures in Taiwan. Next slide, please. Next, I'm going to introduce shark fin soup. Shark fin soup is a popular soup item of China, usually served as second dish in outdoor banquet, and it is usually eaten with red vinegar in order to decrease its fishy smell. To make shark fin soup delicious, the chef's knee skill is a major key. Next slide, please. Then I'm going to introduce steamed glutinous rice with mud crab. Usually the chef would choose female crab because it has a lot of crab rolls or crab eggs, which represents the blessings of many children in Chinese. Then the Howard will introduce the other two kinds of dishes.
Then I'm going to talk about two common dishes in outdoor banquets. The first one is steamed fish. Due to the geographical location, Taiwan is surrounded by sea, and Taiwan's fishery industry is quite mature. Next slide, please. Steamed fish usually made with the sea bass or groupers, and also the fish has a special meaning. May there be surplus year after year. So that's why it was served as a dish in outdoor banquets. Next slide, please. The next one is a breast pork belly. Pork belly is seen of a luxurious food in Asian Taiwan due to the lack of the supplies. So if the host put the breast pork belly as a dish in outdoor banquets, it can show the enthusiasm from the host to the guest. Next, Yoi will talk about his personal experience in outdoor banquets.
And the next part is my personal experience on attending outdoor banquets. Next slide, please. In the outdoor banquets I have attended, there was a stage set up and some people or music bands were invited to perform on the stage. Next slide, please. In some outdoor banquets, there were even shows of serving food. There is a seafood show where people would take the animals from the sea, which were still alive, and walk past the guests at table to demonstrate the sea creatures. There is also the sesame sealing show, where chef demonstrated slicing up sashimi. My teacher and classmates tell me these outdoor banquets that I attend are the fancier and more luxurious ones. However, whether it is a fancy one or a regular one, at the end of the banquet, the catering staff will hand out some plastic bags, like doggy bags, for people to take home the leftovers. And the entire meal time for such banquets is usually 2 to 2.5 hours. Next slide, please. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I got a couple. Can I ask them?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. The first question is, well, what's the importance, or you can say the place of seafoods in the cuisine of Taiwan? I mean, I could see loads of seafoods there.
Yeah, how important is fish and seafood to your diet? I think Howard kind of pointed that out. Howard, if you talk about the geography again, explain to the people in Bangladesh how the sea is related to Taiwan.
Why is seafood important in Taiwan?
Oh, because the geographical location is Taiwan is surrounded by the sea, and Asian Taiwanese used to go to the sea and catch some fish in the Asian time. So Taiwan's food culture is very close to the seafood, like fish or other sea creatures. Yes. And also
And I got another one.
Excuse me?
I got another question.
Okay.
Understand. Okay. So is the Western culture and their food occupying the Taiwan's indigenous cuisine? Is it occupying much?
You mean, is there a heavy influence from the Western countries, especially on our food?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Howard, would you like to answer this question as well?
Not really. The most effects on food in Taiwan is about Chinese culture. Chinese culture play an important role in Taiwanese food culture.
However, there are a lot of influences, especially like fast food. A lot of kids are taking, fast food for, they're choosing fast food over the traditional food in many meals of the day.
Yes.
Yeah, so still, I would say both. Yeah, we're influenced by both, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, is it getting popular? The Western foods.
How about Bangladesh? Is it very popular where you're at or no?
Yeah, it's getting popular. It's getting popular.
I know in Lebanon, Lebanon's got a lot of influences from West, East, and all over the place. But I think the expenses of eating out is what's really killing Lebanon right now. I don't know about Bangladesh and stuff. I know in Taiwan, until COVID came, there were a lot of tourists. Taiwan's a beautiful country where people came from all over. So you'd get a lot of influences besides just the Chinese and indigenous areas. But Taiwan's a very cosmopolitan country. And what a lot of people may not know, about almost 90% of all the laptops in the world are made in Taiwan. So the businesses come from all over. So you have a tremendous amount of business people coming and influences too. So I guess if you go to Taipei or some of the places, it would look very Western, or it would look almost global in that respect. Am I correct?
Yeah, in terms of architecture and a lot of the technology related products, yeah, we're pretty Westernized.
Yeah, they're so Westernized that they actually outdid us. They can talk to their students. Well, I can't even do that to my students on virtual. So they're pretty Westernized. Or I'll put it that way, they're ahead of us.
Any more questions?
If not, let's go to Bangladesh and we can, because I know it's getting late in Taiwan.
And so please stop sharing from team 3, and we will move on to Bangladesh. So Bangladesh, and who would like to present right now? And are you sharing the slides?
Yes, definitely. I would like to invite Mubin bin Hassan and Mehnaz Islam. Please share your screen.
Okay, sir, thank you. Sir, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about special foods in Festival of Bangalis, made by Mehnaz Islam Manota from Narayanganj Ideal School, Bangladesh. So, at first, we need to know that what is food for thought. The phrase food for thought refers to an idea or piece of information that's worth pondering or thinking over. Another way of saying this is something to think about. Example, you could earn a lot more if you became certified. Just same food for thought. Just some food for thought. Why do we find differences in different countries' foods? Different countries have different food items that depends on what they get or grow the most. For example, in Bangladesh, the highest production in Bangladesh is rice. So, rice is the main food of Bengalis. In America, corn. It is the most widely produced feed grain to the United States. Of this, the majority of which goes towards feeding livestock. Over 90 million acres of corn are grown for feed, industrial products, and foods and beverage products like cereal and sweeteners. There is a picture of corn and here is cereal. Okay, so now we are going to see some foods that Bengalis or we eat in festivals and any special ceremonies. Festivals are an essential part of humans' life. This festival can be basically divided into 4 parts. They are seasonal festival, religious festivals, socio-family festival, and national festivals. Among the various festivals, we eat special types of food. For example, in the joy of making new rice, we make different types of pita, paesh in Novanno festival. In Eid, we eat shamai, korma, pulao, firni, etc. In Pohela Boishakh, we eat khichuri, pantabat with delish curry, etc. We also eat special foods like biryani, jorda, pulao, meat curry, etc. in the wedding ceremony. Here, this picture is Novanno's food, and here we can see Eid foods, Eid food items. Here, rice with fish curry, and here biryani. Okay, so thank you so much. If you have any questions, so you can ask me. And after the question, I invite to Mubin bin Hassan to present his presentation.
Okay. Did Eid just take place?
Yes, sir. Can you please repeat it?
Yeah, didn't the festival of Eid just take place not too long ago, a couple weeks ago?
No, sir.
Go ahead and go with your other, if there's no questions, go ahead with the other presentation.
Mubin, please share the screen. Mubin, we are waiting for screen sharing. Mubin.
Manata, please stop your screen.
Okay.
Can you hear my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. I'm Mubin. I read in class 6 in Nanganj Ideal School. I'm from Bangladesh. Today, I'm going to talk about all Bangladeshi people's daily food habits. First of all, morning meal. First, I'm going to talk about the morning meal of Bangladeshi people. In breakfast, we eat roti, vegetables, fried egg, or a cup of tea with some biscuits, etc. In weekends, we eat special food. We eat bread with ghee or fried egg We also eat vegetable category in our breakfast. Now we see the roti picture. Here is the roti. Then we see fried egg. Bangladeshi people say it bean bhaji. It is the Bangladeshi pronounce. Then we see a cup of tea with some biscuits. Then it is the vegetable category. Bangladeshi people say it shobji khichuri. It is the Bangladeshi pronounce. Then tiffin meal. Between breakfast and lunch, we eat some snacks. Before the COVID situation, we used to go to school and take our tiffin. In our tiffin, we used to eat noodles or vermicelli, etc. It is the noodles. Then it is the vermicelli. Bangladeshi people say that shemai is the Bangladeshi pronounce. Then lunch meal. Then we eat lunch. At lunch, we eat rice, fish, or meat curry, vegetables, salad, etc. In the weekend, we eat pulao, meat curry, vegetables, or baubasi category with meat curry and salad. Then you see meat curry. There is the meat curry. Then it is the baubasi category. Bangladeshi people say it bhuna khichuri. It is the Bangladeshi pronounce. Then rice. Bangladeshi people say it bhap. In Bengali say bhap. Then snacks meal. In the evening, we eat some snacks. We eat a glass of milk with some biscuits, noodles, vermicelli, or a cup of tea, etc. Dinner. Then we eat dinner. At our dinner, we eat rice, vegetables, meat, or fish curry, dal, salad, etc. So it's the daily food habits of Bangladeshi people. Then we talk about food difference of villagers and city people. The villagers of Bangladesh are eating different types of food from the city people. They eat fresh vegetables, seasonal food like mango, jackfruit, etc. In summer season, they eat mango, jackfruit, blackberry, and all seasonal fruits. In winter, they eat flapjack. They eat those foods which they cultivate, but city people eat different types of food like fast food item, fuchka, etc. So it's the difference between the villagers and city people of Bangladesh. Thanks for watching and listening my project. If you have any question, please ask me right now.
Anybody have a question? That was very well done, Bangladesh. How's COVID you guys haven't been able to go to school for a long time, have you? Aren't you virtual in school too, or no?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Yeah, I was wondering how long has it been since you've been able for the students to go to your school?
For the pandemic, you know that Bangladesh, we are facing some critical situation, and about 14 months, the school is closed. And you will be happy to know that the students are connected with us through online, and we are also taking lesson and the assignment and the project work through online. And though we face some difficulties to reach the students, but somehow we are able to manage. You know that our school is situated in the city area, and most of the students are somewhat solvent in compared to other areas, and they are connected with us, and regularly you will be happy to know that we take 3 classes with them, and at the same time we also arrange some exams, and we also give some assignments, and actually we are continuing the activities. We are not allowing the pandemic to affect our studies.
That's very good. Mimi, tell a little bit about what's going on in Taiwan. Taiwan for the last 14 months, except for 1 week, was in school, and then about a week or so ago, they went virtual. Mimi, explain to the difference between being on campus and virtual now.
Yes, we've been virtual for, let's see, a little bit over a week. And we have had all sorts of challenges, I would say. And like we were saying at the beginning, mostly challenging for the teachers. not only because we are, challenged with the technical difficulties, the technology, and also the amount of things that has to be digitalized, and figuring out how to actually operate this. Right now I have one laptop, one desktop, and one cell phone, and that's how I can cope with all the students' problems as well as teaching at the same time. So the school actually instructs the teachers to immediately resolve the students' issues. So we are like, multitasking. We're answering their questions. We're helping them with the things that they cannot get and cannot access online, everything. So, but one interesting thing that I observed is that some students, for some, the quieter students are paying more attention in the online classes. We've had at least for my school, very successful rates with students, logged in, I guess because we have enough resources in here. And also the school has a system where it's like both way checking. The students will we have a student from each class logging in what this teacher has taught every period. And then we have the teacher taking attendance and all sending that through Google Forms. So the school admin is like checking everything that we're doing. And if we lose a student, we're going to call that student until that student comes to the computer and take the online class. So with all this going on, it's actually we're finding a new way to survive, I guess, because in the past 14 months, we're like, we're figuring out how the other countries are managing this, and now we're like experiencing ourselves, and it's a bit different. And we still think we're a lucky ones because technology and challenges, we're handling all that.
Yeah, except for maybe South Korea. You guys are probably the most have more technology than many countries, and even you're really blessed with having that ability, because I know like in Bangladesh and I know in South Africa, many of the schools are in real trouble as far as resources and stuff, just to keep the schools going. The technology is just not there. The infrastructure is not. And even in the States, we're looking towards the East, I guess, the Far East to try a model after, because we're not near where we should be. Our school year has ended, but we're beginning a new one in September. And one of the things I wanted to try to do, and I thought I'd just mention, because I know a couple of you guys in here are going to be working, we're trying to do some things asynchronously as well. So we're going to have Zoom conferences. We're going to have asynchronous deals, just in case, because you just never know. And I think nowadays you have to really try to consider all different possibilities, because you just don't ever, you take things for granted that may not be necessarily for granted. I never would have thought in my teaching career, I just finished my 35th year. I never thought in my teaching career that I would ever see the time where I would be at home, and the kids would be at home and we'd be teaching like this, or even in the wildest dreams, ever being able to communicate better with Mary, and I could talk to Howard quicker than I could talk to most of my students. So this has really made us to look and be grateful for what we have. And I really do appreciate everybody today. That was really special. I appreciate the people from Lebanon. They're having some very difficulties, great difficulties, and they're pushing through, and they're back in school, which is a real good thing. I appreciate the people from Bangladesh. Those were 3 really good presentations. I really appreciate the stuff from Taiwan. They were very good presentations. And Adrian, hats off to you and all the stuff that you're doing down there in South Africa. We were supposed to be joined by, they couldn't get on for some reason, Argentina. But, we're going on, and I will be in contact with you guys. I really do appreciate everything that you guys do, and I will see you later. I know it's very late in Taiwan, so Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys, or good evening. Good night. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Yeah, see you.